So hello, my name's Gilbert Valenzuela, and it is a pleasure to be participating in doing this Facebook Live class. I just got done teaching. I'm a little disheveled, but bear with me. It's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to you. And so for today's little practice, I'm going to focus a lot on, with it being Valentine's Day, just heart openers. And with the theme of it's very easy for us to focus our attention on everyone else. And so with this practice, just really being mindful of bringing your attention inward and with the idea of self-love and giving yourself the space to just do exactly what you need to do for yourself. So constantly just checking in with your body. And that's all this practice is. All we're doing is listening. We're taking in that information and then we're giving ourselves the space to determine what we need to do next. Do we need to take a break? Do we need to move further? But just giving ourselves that pause and then giving ourselves a space to make whatever decision serves us best. So I'm glad I get to share this practice with you, and I'm glad we get to do it together. I just need to take my socks off, and then we'll start doing the thing. I hope you can hear me okay. And let's start. We'll start on that tabletop. So in your tabletop pose, bringing your shoulders over your wrists, and then hips over your knees, and let's just go ahead and start with whatever movements would feel good to you right now. So maybe that's just rocking front to back. Maybe that's some hip circles. Or maybe some wrist stretches. And you're just beginning to tune in to how you're feeling. Even just closing your eyes. And beginning to breathe slow and steady in and out of your nose. And take an inventory of how you're showing up to your mat. If there's a spot that might feel a little tight, maybe stay there for an extra breath. And giving yourself another 3, and 2, and 1, leaning back in your tabletop. Now just notice how the mat feels underneath your hands. And notice if you're pressing too much into the heels of your palms. If that's the case, just press more into your fingertips and think about distributing your weight more throughout your entire hands. Now from here, protract your shoulders. So press into the floor, externally rotate your arms, shoulders away from your ears, back open, tailbone slightly tucked. And now as you exhale, just lower your chest between your arms and retract your shoulders into one another. And inhale, lift your back. And exhale, lower your heart. Now inhale, lift your back. Now take a cat pose, tucking your tailbone, gazing up towards your navel. So strong here in your hand. And cow pose, breathe in. Tailbone up, heart forward, gaze up. And exhale, cat. And breathe into cow. And bring your big toes to touch. Open your knees wide, and with the lifting your chest, press your hips to your heels. Now extend your hands a little further out in front of you. And grounding here into your child's pose. And acknowledge yourself for showing up and for dedicating this time to you. You know, all the cues and everything that I'm offering to just help keep you safe, ultimately listening to your body. If you need to modify it, if you need to change something up, feel free to. And from here, just walk your hands up and over to the right. You can bring your left palm over your right hand. Keep sending your left hip towards your left heel. And then breathe into the left side of your body, give yourself a little more space in your ribs. On your next breath in, back to center. And as you breathe out, walk your hands up and over to the top left corner of your mat. And you can bring your right hand over the left. Breathe into the right side of your body. Continue to press your right hip to your right heel. Steady, just feeling this out. And next inhale back to center. Plant your palms as you breathe out. Grip the floor and pull yourself forward, shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees, back to cat pose, exhale. Breathe into your cow. And again, hold this shape in your spine. And puppy pose, extend your hands long in front of you. So tailbone lifts, navel to spine, heart towards the floor. Maybe it's your forehead to ground, so it can be your nose, or maybe it's your chin. If you want, this is a good spot for a block. You can place it underneath your forehead. If you want to stretch more underneath your ribs, you can tense your fingertips. Breathe into the length here in your side body. Notice the space underneath your armpits and your triceps. And breathe here for 3. Hold steady for 2. And 1. Walk your hands back to a tabletop as you breathe in. And cat pose, breathe out. And cow pose, breathe in. Keep lifting your chest and press your hips to your heels. Extend your hands out long in front of you. Now grip through the floor. Breathe in, shift forward to a modified plank. So this is going to be different than your tabletop because your hips are slightly in front of your knees. Tailbone's going to stay tucked, and remember the protraction in our shoulders. The shoulders away from your ears, so you're active here. Then send your hips back to your heels, breathe out. Modified plank, breathe in. And then lower all the way down to your chest. Press the tops of your feet into the floor. Engage your quads so your knees lift, tuck your tailbone so your hips press down. And then low cobra pose. Shoulders away from your ears and they point to the floor. Elbows point behind you, little to no weight here in your hands. Now keep this lift in your chest. Take it to a whale pose, send your left hand out, palm face down, right hand under your shoulder, and now roll your right side over your left. Now still actively pressing your left palm into the floor, think here of retracting your shoulders into one another, still tucking your tailbone, squeezing your glutes. And take one more breath in, and back to center as you breathe out. Shoulders down, low cobra pose, lift your chest. And now switch it out, send your right hand out to a T, left hand under your shoulder, and then roll your left side over your right. Just steady here with your breathing. One more inhale. Back to center as you breathe out. Hands underneath your shoulders, low cobra pose, breathe in. Lower down, breathe out. Modified plank on your inhale, and hips to heels on your exhale. Pull forward, breathe in. Hips to heels, breathe out. And pull forward, breathe in. Lower halfway, modified chaturanga, elbows over your wrists, shoulders away from your ears, strong in your hands, tailbone tucked. Press back up on your inhale. Hips to heels on your exhale. Pull forward, breathe in. And this time lower all the way down to your chest. Start with a low cobra pose, so inhale. Focus on the strength in your back. And now use your hands to support it for high cobra. Giving yourself a little more space so you're still tucking your tailbone. Still reaching your heart forward and crown of your head tall. Breathe one more time in. And take it down, breathe out. Now tuck your toes. Modified plank on your inhale. Hips to heels on your exhale. Now press into your palms. Ground through your toes, hover your knees. Shift forward to plank, breathe in. Hover your knees, hips to heels, breathe out. And plank, breathe in. Lower halfway, chaturanga. You can always lower your knees to modify. Press up to plank. Hover your knees, hips to heels. Plank, breathe in. Chaturanga, breathe out. Up dog on your inhale, heart forward, shoulders back, thighs off the mat. Legs active and engaged. Take this breath in and down dog, hips to the sky on your exhale. And in your down dog, pedal it out. Feet about hips distance, second toe points to the top of your mat. Hands grounded again. Notice if you're just pressing into the heels of your palms. And then grip through your fingertips. So again, you're distributing your weight through your entire hand. Now like your puppy pose, your navel's to spine. And then your belly presses towards your thighs. And if you need to, bend your knees. So it's okay if your heels are lifted off the mat. They might never touch the floor. But they're just reaching in that general direction. Now from here, lift your right leg up. Three-legged dog. Tuck your chin to your chest and bring your knee to your nose. Then shift forward, bring your right foot down between your hands, landing in your lunge. Go ahead and ground your left knee. Now untuck your left toes and coming into a crescent moon. So left knee is grounded, right knee over your right ankle. Here you're tucking your tailbone. And you're still squeezing your navel to spine. Now lift up and out through your fingertips. So we're not bunching up by our neck, but we're still lengthening through our neck as we lift our fingertips just a little higher, trying to create some space here through our ribs. Now look up to your hands as you breathe in, and back bend, cactus your arms as you breathe out. Now pause for a moment. Keep tucking your tailbone, continue to squeeze through your left glutes. Stay for your exhale. And inhale, take your hands up. And now half split. Hands frame your front foot, and then straighten your right leg. And you can flex your right foot, you can point through your toes, you can roll the ankle around. And if you need to modify here, just bring a soft bend to your knees. So we're looking for more length in our spine as opposed to rounding our back. So if you can't keep your legs straight without rounding the back, bend your knee so you can find a lift. This is a great spot too for a block underneath your hands. Just to bring the floor a little closer to you. Now keeping your left hand down, and reach your right arm up and twist with your right hand high. Now notice if your right hip wants to lift further away from the floor and higher than your left, try keeping your hips in the same line and continue to flex through your right toes. Take one more inhale and low lunge on your exhale. We're going to do this sequence one more time. Inhale, hands up, and back bend, breathe out. Inhale, hands up. Half split on your exhale. Keep your left hand down. Inhale, twist. Take your right arm up. And now low lunge. Plant both hands. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, and step back to a plank. Now hover your right foot and roll to the outside of your left foot, wild thing pose. Plant your left toes, lift your left hip, and roll your right hand up and back. And breathe here for 3. Last 2. And both hands to the mat. You can lower your knees and lower chaturanga. Up dog on your inhale. Down dog on your exhale. Take your left heel to the sky, breathe in. Chin to chest, knee to nose, breathe out, and then step forward. Landing in your lunge. Ground your right knee, adjust your feet if you need to. Untuck your back toes. And when you're ready, find your crescent moon. So again, left knee over your left ankle. Now you can stay 90 degrees here, knee over hip. As you feel more open, maybe give yourself a little more space. Now with your hands high again, lifting up and out from your hips to your shoulders, out of your fingertips. Look to your hands and then take your back bend. So in your back bend, we're not dumping into the low spine. You're still lifting first as you open your heart. And back to crescent moon. And half split, straightening your front leg, hands frame your front foot. And flex. And lengthening here through your spine, reaching your heart forward. You're pulling your tailbone back. And bend your left knee as much as you need to here. And keeping your right hand down, inhale, twist. Take your left arm high. Again, keeping your hips in the same line, so just be mindful of how that feels. Take this inhale, lunge on your exhale. And crescent moon, breathe in. Back bend, breathe out. And crescent moon, reach up. Half split on your exhale. Right hand down, left arm up. And exhale, low lunge. Tuck your right toes, breathe in, step back to plank and hover your left foot. Then wild thing pose, rolling to the outside of your right foot, plant your left leg behind you. Right hip lifts, left shoulder rolls and opens towards the floor. Heart high to the sky, breathe here for 3, 2, and 1. Both hands to the floor, lower chaturanga. Now up dog, breathe in. And down dog, breathe out. And inhale. And exhale. And breathe in. And out. Now tuck your chin to your chest. The next breath in, shift forward to a plank. Now rounding your back and pull your chin away from your chest. So you're looking down between your hands, shoulders protracted. Giving yourself as much space as you can between your chest and the floor. Now tiptoe all the way up to a forward fold. Okay, so once you reach the top, halfway lift, hands to your shins, knees or thighs, and heel toe your feet together. Long, flat spine. Shoulders pull in and back. And breathe in. And forward fold, breathe out. Mountain pose, press to your feet. Inhale, take your hands up to the ceiling. And from here, back bend, cactus your arms. So you still got a tuck in your tailbone. So lifting your chest. Inhale, reach up. And forward fold, breathe out. Halfway lift, inhale. And we'll take a crouch and curl, fingertips to the floor, hips to your heels, forehead to your knees. So you're rounding into a little ball. Almost like your cat back here. Your spine is rounded. We're doing a lot of back bend, so just giving ourselves an opportunity to take our spine in the opposite direction. And take one more breath in. Heels down, breathe out. Inhale, now pose. So see if you can bring your palms together overhead. And interlace your fingers and just release your pointer fingers. So you're coming into a steeple grip. Heels of your palms pressed tight. Now take your chin away from your chest. Just look to the base of your hands. Tuck your tailbone, lift out of your collarbones, out of your fingertips, and then slowly finding a standing back bend. Hold and breathe. Let your gaze guide you. And then let your arms follow. Holding here for 5. Breathing for 4. Listening to your body for 3, 2. Slowly rise up. And exhale, forward fold. Now halfway lift, breathe in. Back to your crouch and curl as you breathe out. And take an inhale. And exhale. And breathe in. And out. Now plant your palms and shift forward so your weight is in your hands. You're protracting your shoulders and you step back to plank. And lower chaturanga. Up dog, breathe in. And down dog, breathe out. Inhale your right heel to the sky. Chin to chest, knee to nose, breathe out. And step to the top. Now rise to a warrior 1. Spin your left heel down to the floor. Back foot at about a 45-degree angle. Hips square to the front. Heart open to the front. And reaching your hands high. Take this breath in. Look up towards your fingertips. Now take a back bend. Cactus your arms. Straighten your front leg. Reach up. Now pyramid pose. Slowly take it all the way down. Hands framing your front foot. Again, looking for length here in your spine. So if that means bringing your hands to your leg, feel free to keep your hands on your leg or feel free to bend your knee. Now weight here is evenly distributed between both feet. You're pressing down, you're squeezing in to help you find that length in your spine, to find stability in your foundation. Now keep your left hand down and revolve pyramid. Open your right arm up to the ceiling. Pull your right hip back. And taking one more inhale. And exhale, low lunge. Now 3-legged dog, send your right heel high. And bend your knees, stack your hips. You can pause here. You can take it a wild thing, keeping your left leg straight. Or flip dog, pivot. So this way your heels and toes are pointing towards the wall behind you. And lift your hips and reach your right shoulder up and back. Give yourself a moment, breathing here for 3. And staying for 2. And 1, right hand back to the floor. And lower chaturanga. Up dog, breathe in. And down dog, breathe out. Left heel up. Chin to chest, knee to nose, breathe out. And step forward into your warrior 1. Grounding your right heel and breath in as you rise. Again, strong here in your base. Right hip forward, left hip draws back. Left knee over your left ankle and it's pointing straight to the top of your mat. Heart forward. If you can, give yourself a little more space in your stance. Tuck and then lift. Look to your hands and back bend. Breathe out. Straighten your left leg on the inhale. Reach your hands back up. Pyramid exhale. Hands down. All the way to the floor. Again, notice how your weight feels distributed between both feet. And you're grounding evenly through your feet. And you're hugging to the middle of your mat. Towards the midline of your body. Bend as much as you need to bend to maintain the length in your spine. And I'll keep your right hand down. And inhale to revolve pyramid, opening your left arm up. Think of stacking your shoulders, stacking your wrists. This can be a great spot also for a block underneath your right hand. Feel free to bend your left knee if you need. One more inhale. Low lunge on your exhale. 3-legged dog, send your left heel up. Now bend your knees, stack your hips. Option to stay or take it a flip dog or wild thing. Rolling to the outside of your right foot. Lift your hips. and open. And breathe here for 5 and 4 and 3. Flow in 2 and 1. Hands to the mat. Lower chaturanga. Up dog, breathe in. And down dog, breathe out. And inhale. And exhale. And breathe in. And out. Chin to chest. Shift forward to a plank. Then exhale, tiptoe all the way up to a forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. And fold, breathe out. And mountain pose, bring your palms to touch. And hands behind your back on your exhale. Now here, interlacing your fingers. Reaching your fists to the floor, squeeze to the heels of your palms and roll your shoulders into one another. So tuck your tailbone. Now you can stay here or slowly slide your arms down your leg. Shoulders pull in, heart up, chin back. Maybe even try pulling your arms away from your body. Steady with your breath. Breathing here 5 and 4, 3, last 2. Just keep your grip, stand tall, bend your knees, and from here forward fold with your hands interlaced behind your back. Have your head to the floor. You're bending your knees so you can get your belly closer to your thighs. And take one more breath in. Release your grip as you breathe out. And halfway lift. Forward fold. Mountain pose. Bring your palms to touch. We're going to take a dancer on the right side. So from here, bring your right hand down and just slightly behind you. Right foot, right hand. So knees stay in the same line. And then here, find a lift in your chest. Turn your left palm, just internal rotation so your palm faces behind you. And now think up dog in your chest. So you lift here first, then start to draw your knee back. Kick and pull with equal effort on the right side of your body. If you need to, soft bend here at your left knee. Keeping a steady gaze out in front of you, lift your left hand. Kick into your right toes up to the ceiling. Breathe here 5, 4, 3, 2, and carefully release. Back to your mountain pose. And bring your left hand down to your side, again slightly behind you. Left foot, left hand. And you can stay here. This can be your dancer pose. It doesn't need to be anything more than this. And then all you're doing is just drawing your knee back, squeezing your glute. Feel the lift in your chest. Now kick and pull with equal effort on the left side of your body. That'll help with your balance. Turn your right palm face up. Lift through your fingertips. Shine your heart forward. Feel the opening in your chest. Feel the strength in your back. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Mountain pose. Hands to heart center. Heel to your feet together. And take a breath in. Breath out. And breathe in. Breathe out. Mountain pose, inhale. Hold on your exhale. Halfway lift. And come back to your crouching crow. From your crouching crow, go ahead and ground your knees. And coming into a camel. Now, if you want to modify, feel free to stay on your knees. You can just bring your hands behind you, roll your shoulders in. You can bring your hands to your low back, lift your chest. Otherwise, knees 2 fist distance apart. If you have a block, good spot for a block, you can squeeze it in between your thighs so you make sure your legs are a little more active. Now, hands down your back like you're sliding down your pockets. Tuck your tailbone. Lift your chest. So you're creating length first. Before you go back, we don't want to dump into our low spine. We want to avoid any compression in our low spine. So your shoulders back, heart high, tailbone tucked. Lift out of your chin. You can stay here. If it feels all right, you want to go further. Keep lifting first. Let your gaze guide you. Keep sending your hips forward. Then find your expression of count. If it's in your practice, you can have your toes tucked. You can bring your hands to your heels, external rotation in your arms. It's going to help you get a little more expression across your chest. Open your throat. Open your heart. Breathe here for 5. Hold here for 4. Last 3. Breathe 2. Hands to your low back. Slowly come up. And take a seat. And take a breath in and out. Breathe in and out. And slowly swing your legs out in front of you. A single leg extension. Send your right foot out and bring your left foot against your right thigh. And then interlace your fingers down to the webbing. Bend your right knee and square your shoulders over your hips. Bring your forehead to knee, hands to the ball mound of your foot. And open your back, navel to spine. Then from there, if you can maintain the connection of your forehead and knee, slide your heel away from you. And then you can bend at your elbows. Pull the crown of your head towards your toes. Breathing here for 3, 2, and 1. Stargazer. Now ground your left hand behind you. Ground through your left shin. Point your right toes. Now lift your hips. Reach your right arm up and back. And exhale, bring it down. Switching sides. Left foot out. Right foot in. Basket grip with your hands. Bend your left knee as much as you need so your forehead meets it. And hands to the ball mound of your foot. And so you want to grab the ball mound of your foot so this way your foot is flexing and your heel is the furthest part away from your body. Then you can stay. Or if you can maintain the connection of your forehead and knee, slide your heel away from you. Really engage your quads so maybe your heel even starts to lift off the floor when your leg is straight. And just breathing here for 3. Last 2. And release. Stargazer. Right hand by your right hip. Ground through your right shin. Point your left toes and lift. And exhale, bring it back down. Now hands behind you. And plant both feet. Reverse tabletop. Lift your hips. Hug your shoulders in. Chin away from your chest. And breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Send your hips to your heels. And now lower all the way to your back. Now options here. You can take a bridge pose. So bridge, feet are going to be grounded, shoulders grounded, chin tucked. All you're doing is lifting your hips. And you can interlace your hands behind your back, rock your shoulders in. I'll cue for a wheel. So wheel pose, hands over your shoulders, fingertips point towards your heels, elbows over your wrists. Press straight down from your knees to your feet. Start to tuck your tailbone, lift one vertebra at a time. Press into your hands, come onto the crown of your head. If this feels okay, strong in your hands, press straight down, lift straight up. Hug your elbows in. Try to press your shoulders over your wrists. No compression in your low spine. Lift out of your navel straight up to the ceiling. Press your heart forward. Breathe where you're at for 5 and 4. You got it. 3. Last 2. So good. And 1. Chin to chest. Slowly lower. Bottoms of your feet together. Knees wide. Just bring a hand to your stomach, hand to your heart. Notice your breath. Feel your heartbeat. Allow yourself to feel what you feel, to notice what you notice, and not in terms of good or bad, but just allowing yourself to have that experience. And allowing yourself to breathe through the experience. Not getting too hung up. Trying not to get stuck or not trying to fight it. Just allowing thoughts and sensations to come and go. Now from here, go ahead and cactus your arms. And bring your knees and thighs together and take your feet as wide as your mat. And from here, taking just a gentle twist, let your knees fall over to the right. And you can stay like this. If you want, you can bring your right leg, your right ankle over your left thigh. You take a different twist of your choice. And back up to center. And twist to the left as you breathe out. Allowing gravity here to do the work. And just give yourself some space to let go of any engagement here with your muscles. And allowing the depth to come as you're ready for it. One more breath out. Back to center as you breathe in. Now bring your hands to your knees and exhale. Draw your knees towards your armpits. And here, gently rock a little side to side. Massage your back. If you'd like a waterfall, kick your heels straight up. You can keep your hands on your thighs. You can keep your hands on the floor. If you have a block, great spot for a block to just set it underneath your sacrum. You can even move up to a wall and you can close your practice there. Let's just take one more breath in. As you exhale, bring your knees to your chest, wrap your forearms around your shins, forehead up to meet your knees, squeeze into a little ball. One more inhale, give yourself a big hug, show yourself some love. One more breath in, and exhale, Savasana, legs long. Whatever little adjustments you need to, and then choose stillness here. Let your body be at ease, your body heavy, your breath light. Again, allowing yourself to feel what you feel, to notice what you notice, and to just let everything come and go. When we're choosing stillness, we're allowing ourselves to experience whatever comes up. And to let it pass. With just that extra space, doing what we need to make a conscious decision of what would serve us best, to see how we can proceed. For the time being, just choosing the stillness. I know that might be difficult. Ready to close your practice here. If you'd like to move, start small with your fingers, your toes, your ankles, your wrists, your jaw, your nose, maybe full body stretch. And bend your knees, let them knock side to side, fetal position if you want one. Hands to your knees. And from a fetal position, working your way up into a seat. Whatever seated variation serves you. Shoulders up and down your back, grounded and tall. Left hand on your heart, right hand over your left. And acknowledge yourself for showing up. And acknowledge yourself for doing this for you, giving yourself the space to listen and to love yourself. And by doing what you need to for yourself, it opens you up to do better for everyone else. And it's easy to neglect ourselves. And I know that I struggled with that quite a bit, and it has made such a big difference by just listening and honoring, and doing the things that I needed to first for me, before just spreading myself so thin, concentrating and trying to make everyone else happy, and just leaving myself empty. And this practice has helped me with that. And so thank you so much for showing up and for sharing whatever your practice means to you with everyone participating and everyone that you come across. It's always a pleasure, and it's been such an honor. Until next time, I wish you all nothing but the very best. And namaste. All right. Well, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to leave any questions or comments you have in the comment section. And yeah, looking forward to doing more stuff with y'all. And until then, take care and happy Valentine's Day.